Good evening, folks. Thank you for joining us tonight on MCTV's live coverage of Dow High versus Midland High, hosted at HH Dow High. I'm joined tonight with my cohort, Chuck Neal. Chuck, how you doing today?
Doing very well, thank you very much.
Well, I foresee fireworks here tonight between Dow High and Midland High. They've gone back and forth the last 3 years. Last year going towards Midland High, if I remember correctly. Dow High, they've got a new coach, Nick Wardell. He was their assistant last year. Midland High has the same coach they've had for the past 6 years, I believe. So he's definitely very established here at Midland High. Chuck, you're familiar with some of these Midland High wrestlers, is that correct?
Yeah. I had the opportunity to help coach them in the Midland Havoc youth teams.
Okay.
So I do have a good knowledge of a couple of these guys. They really have blossomed over the years. I'm telling you what, you start off, with so little experience, and they really come forward. Glad to see them out here.
Absolutely. And right now, we're starting off at 130 pounds. Midland High takes a void. Dow High is looking pretty stretched thin this year as far as the roster goes, so we might see a good chunk of wrestlers from the Midland High side coming out there to get their hand raised. Now coming in from Dow High, we have Robbie Batha. Rob Batha is someone I've worked with in the past. He's definitely got a lot of strength to bring to the table here. And coaching under Nick Wardell, he's definitely going to have some improvement to show us. He will be facing River Henderson. River's definitely been with the program from Midland for a little bit now. He's established himself in the community, that's for sure, in Midland County as a wrestler. Coming out really fast-paced. Robert got him in a crackdown. Stand up for River and back square, going back neutral. Good fast-paced action. A lot of nice level changes coming from River, keeping the opponent, keeping Robbie on his toes.
Good to see him showing a little bit of patience here, but now
in deep on a nice double leg is River. No two awarded yet. No control established. Robert's got to get his hips away. He's trying to push that head down and go for a stalemate. If he can, there's two. He's got him in a crucifix. That was slick.
Yes.
All right, two for takedown, and he also got some near fall there. That was pretty clever by Rob. Nice return to the mat. Good elevation there. Robbie's really showing him stuff against a very technical and strong wrestler in River. It's going to be interesting to see if River can come back.
He needs to shake that off right there and just come blasting up out from the bottom position here.
Right now, Rob's signaling for the neutral position. He's asking the ref to award 1 point for an escape to River, and that brings the match 4-1 with Dow High in the lead. Total team score, Midland leads 6-0.
And Robbie did that. Why, Shane?
Robbie, he feels more confident on his feet with River instead of holding him down. River's a very strong individual.
Yep.
As you can see there, as soon as River got into those hips from that shot, he was able to pretty much dominate that takedown.
He's got his hips behind, and looks like it's 4-3, so they must have awarded the
Yep, so now it's 4-3. River's going to take the top position. I'm not sure exactly why there was a break in action. Maybe he was just getting a little too close to the edge for the ref. Robbie Batha, he's a very tricky wrestler. He's got a lot of strength to bring to the table as well, but it's going to be an uphill fight if he's going to go shot for shot with River as far as strength goes. That's the end of the first period. Robbie Batha is up 4-3. Robert Batha. And it looks like Dow High is going to have the top position. Midland High is going to have the bottom position. Wow, River is so strong.
Quick move.
Robbie's still in on those legs, was able to maintain control, no points awarded. River's hunting for that head, got a hold of it.
Got the head, yep.
New reversal. Doesn't look like the ref's waving near fall yet. Oh, it looks like he's holding 3, so he did count.
Holding 3, yep.
Now, if I remember correctly, you can get pinned with your shoulders outside of the circle, which is what we see here. Well, Robbie didn't get pinned, but he did get the near fall, that's for sure.
Yes, for sure.
River got the near fall, that is.
Yep.
Looks like the score now is 8-4. River from Midland is on top. Nice American roll. Good motion to get out and get that escape.
Nice fast movement.
Dow High's Robert Bath is definitely going to have to rely on being slick and being fast if he's going to keep up with River. Beautiful blast double from River, but out of bounds. It looks like River's foot was out. No 2 points. He shot that from space and came through with so much power on that. That was awesome.
Quick movement.
Another powerful double leg. Robert's got to drop those hips, get his weight down.
There he
There
goes.
he goes. Stops River's momentum. Now he's burying that head. Looking like he's going for a Michigan finish.
He needed to put that hand on the hip, but it looks like he
The
called
ref is calling an illegal hold. He's going to award 1 point to Midland High. I wonder how Coach Wardell feels about that call. Score right now is 9-5. Midland High is up in this match. Ooh, Robert went for it all. Tried to take his opponent to his back, but gets put to his back himself. 2 points for Midland High. The ref is counting near fall.
River needs to move that shoulder down just a hair.
Oh, man, it is suffocating having someone as strong as River bearing down his weight on your chest. Robert's there holding tough.
River just needs to adjust a little bit.
Short time, 10 seconds on the clock. Can Robert make it through this period? Wow, River is just cranking on that neck.
He's being strong. That's a good move. There he goes. He made it through.
And that period comes to a close. We're starting off the third period now. Score is 14-5. Midland High is on top in this match.
Here's where Robbie has to dig deep. He can do this. It's not impossible. We've seen much bigger odds overcome.
Just like any martial arts match, it really just takes one move sequence to seal the deal, and that can come from behind any time. Robert gets one for an escape in deep on a shot, but River's able to bear those hips down, make some space, and get a go behind for 2 himself. There's the 2 awarded by the ref. Score now 16-6, River on top. Looks like we've got a stalling call on Midland High.
You just have to keep that movement going. You have to keep rotating around, making moves. Otherwise, you'll get called for stalling every time.
Absolutely. Robert, nice explosion off the bottom, but River's strength, when he just puts that weight forward like that, there's not a whole lot of people that are going to get up right away.
Going for the half.
Very nice textbook half Nelson by River. Robert, he is determined not to get put to his back, but it's hard fighting that strength. Referee's counting near fall.
River got his arm back out from underneath.
River's got his weight on his toes. He's elevating the head of the Dow High opponent.
There he goes. And then he pins the wrist down to the mat and pushes hard. And Robbie is not giving up.
Robert's hanging on with everything that he's got. River's doing everything right to finish off this match.
Got to give it to Bethel for that heart. Keep going.
And there it is. Midland High gets the stick. That's 6 more points on the board for Midland High, bringing the score now to 12-0. You can watch replays of this Midland Chemics versus HH Dow Chargers wrestling match on the MCTV network. MCTV's channel can be found on Charter Spectrum channels 188 through 191 in Midland and through channel 99 on AT&T Uverse. This game is also live streaming on MCTV's Network Community Voices YouTube channel on Roku and Apple TV in beautiful high definition. Check out MCTV's website at CityofMidland.gov/MCTV to watch this program live or on demand. Follow us on Facebook to learn more about community media in Midland. All right, so who do we have coming up now for Dow and for Midland? Looks like we got Noah Black coming out for Dow High and Cole Shelb coming out for Midland. Cole is the son to one of the members of the coaching staff for Midland High. Cole is... well, if you ask the majority of the wrestling community in this county, they'll tell you that Cole is a good wrestler, to say the least.
Yes, he's one of my favorites to watch. I know when we used to go to our matches, whether it be a tournament for the youth or just going to the junior highs, I can tell you my wife and I just really liked watching him wrestle. He's a very technical, very patient, and very good wrestler. Yep. Strong, too, strong.
You can definitely see the strength in him. Wow, he goes for a sort of suicide half Nelson, or a roll through half, if you will.
Yep.
He's putting on a little bit here of a clinic here, coming out being the superior technical wrestler. He's definitely working his moves here and going right to work.
Throws in the leg. Gets some near fall here.
You can see someone like Cole who's coming out on top right out of the gate. He's running his moves. He's not letting there be any dead time, but he's not being malicious. That's what you would call a professional wrestler right there.
Yep.
Noah Black's trying to hang tough with this Mr. Shell, but it's going to be an uphill fight for him, that's for sure. Right now the score is sitting at 13-0, and Cole seals the deal. Another 6 points for Midland High. He's definitely an entertaining one to watch, Chuck. That's
Absolutely.
For sure.
Love watching that guy. He's really good. And like you said before, he's a good professional wrestler too. You'll never see him lose his cool.
That's awesome. Definitely something you like to see with the youth. Coming out now for Dow High, we have Caden Prescott. And for Midland High, we have Stephen Hackberth. I believe it's Stephen. I do apologize to any of the wrestlers if I mess up the names.
Yep, looks like that's right.
Spent a year wrestling around with Caden when he was in 8th grade. I believe, if I remember correctly, he would be a sophomore this year.
Yep, that's true. I think that's right. Now, I know Caden, early on in his career, he had a lot of learning to do. He started off a little bit rough when we were coaching him down there in junior high at Jefferson, but I can tell you he grew a lot during that time frame. It was really nice to see.
Absolutely. Midland High in deep on a nice shot, head inside, and he moved to the outside. He's trying to get those hips, potentially dangerous. Dow High was pulling on that knee. Stop motion, no points awarded, back to neutral.
Right.
Stephen also competes in football and lacrosse, but he prefers wrestling out of the 3 sports that he likes to play.
And
there's
goes
2 points for Caden.
Yes. Now Caden's got to work on breaking him down, but it looks like he's going for that cradle. Yep, for sure. Oh, he needs to lock those hands up to get that cradle.
Nice cross-face cradle position here. But Stephen's fighting that off pretty hard. Caden's got to try and get his hips out towards Stephen's shoulders and push that head towards the knee. Oh, suicidal cradle.
Now he needs to get that knee on the side, keep him on his back, but wasn't able to get that. Got 2 near fall on that one.
Now, problem with the suicidal cradle is that the opponent that the move's being ran against, he can either stop motion and catch you or completely roll through and you're back to square one, which is exactly what we just saw. Looks like Caden's got the boot in. He's got the weight over top of the hips. Now he's got to do something with it. And that's the end of the first period. Score right now is 4-0. Dow High on top. And Dow High chooses neutral to start the second period. Caden doing a nice job trying to pummel in there, working for a Russians tie.
Nice job by Steven to get that head down.
A standing front headlock, head in the hole to a go behind to get two. You don't often see that one come from the feet.
No,
that was quick.
Feet. He almost made a cradle out of it.
He
had
did.
His hands locked and everything, but now Steven's working on the crossface to try to get his hips behind. He's still...
Up, Caden catches a leg and was able to work his hips over top of his opponent's legs and able to get bad positioning for the Midland High wrestler. 2-point reversal for Dow. That was an exciting sequence. Oh.
Caden trying to put that foot in again, but now that he's up, he needs to return him to that mat. But instead, it goes out of bounds.
There's been a theme today on the Midland High wrestler so far. Every single one of them, I would say, is stronger than their Dow High opponent so far. I don't know what they're putting in the on the lunch trays over at Midland High, but they're definitely breeding some strong individuals. Caden gets stopped. I'm not exactly sure what the call was to award Midland High. It might have been an unsportsman.
Yeah, I think it was he had his hand pretty high up when he came down to push down on the head. I think that might have been it.
Every wrestler at some point in time gets taught to put their opponent's head down on the mat, and that stops all their motion. But it looks like Caden came down with a little bit too much force. We got 1 point for Steven with Midland High. That brings the score now to 6-5, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Right now the scoreboard's showing 6-4, but I actually think it's 6-5.
One of the coaches should catch that.
Steven went for a headlock. Caden ducked it with a nice return to the mat. 2-point takedown. Short time on the clock. That's the end of the second period. Scoreboard reads 8-4 with Dow High up. And I don't see a whole lot of coaches contesting that. So that actually might be the score. Red, Midland High, chooses down to start the third period. For the folks at home who are wondering, this is the 140-pound weight class. Excuse me, 145-pound weight class. Two reversal awarded to Midland High.
Standing cradle, but he's got the legs, so he's not going to be able to get that cradle.
Well, we'll see.
If he can get that arm off of there, he could do it pretty easily.
He's got that head all the way to that knee. It's exactly what you want if you want to sink in a tight cradle, but
yep.
Caden's a flexible one.
Yep. He lost his grip, so now Caden just needs to get that hand control and turn towards. And Steven needs to kind of get his hips back behind him again and start over.
It's going to be hard fighting Caden when he's postured up like that. That's where he's going to be the strongest. He really needs to flatten him out and run his head over his knee to get his hips turned over. See, Caden keeps getting all bundled up in that position there, almost a fetal position. He's really strong there. Broke the grip and pulled the arm over his head. Now he's got to do something with it. Nice breakdown for the Midland High wrestler. Going for a bundle, or it's got 1,000,001 names. Some might know it as a corkscrew.
Still trying it. Caden's trying to break that grip.
Caden, good job fighting that off right in front like that. And a warning stalling call. Needs more action coming from Caden Prescott with Dow High. Score right now reads 8-6 with only 8 seconds left in the third period.
Caden got the escape.
Score now is 9-6 after that escape. 2 seconds left in the third period. Nice last second shot coming from the Midland High wrestler, but it just wasn't enough to get the dub for him today. End of the match score was 9-6. That's going to give Dow High another 3 points in a team score, bringing the scores to 18-3 with Midland High still in the lead. Moving on to our 152-pound weight class. Coming in for Midland High, I believe we're going to have Lorenzo Cabrera. And we'll see who's going to be coming out for Dow High. I apologize to the folks at home. We're either looking at Dawson Studebaker or Evan Kronowski from Dow High. Hopefully we can get you an answer here soon on exactly who we have wrestling out on the mat today. Lorenzo coming out with his knee down on the mats, preventing any deep shots. Putting your knee down on the mat like that is you're challenging the guy across from you to either start muscling you or to use his speed. That right there really limits a lot of individuals attacking.
Especially since the Dow High wrestler is a little bit shorter than the Midland High wrestler. He wants to get down to that level or lower to try to help prevent or take away that advantage.
9 times out of 10 in wrestling, the person with the lower hips is going to win every position. And that includes standing on your feet. Goes for a sort of duck under. Gets his shot stuffed. Out of bounds, back in neutral, no points yet. Going for a headlock. Dow High wrestler is able to stop the headlock and get in on a shot on his own. Head inside single leg. Dow High wrestler here is going to either look to sit his hips out around or just like that, move to the double and potentially sit straight up. Here he goes. He's going to try and sit the hip, out of bounds. As soon as he stepped his foot out, that was 3 points out of bounds. That is out. No points yet in this match. Stuffed shot right there from the Midland High wrestler. Good defense by Midland High. Going into a truck driver. Dow High wrestler has a very strong base. Not necessarily easy to get off balance here. Lorenzo, awesome crackdown. Dow High wrestler's got both hands on the arm. Going to be looking for some form of a sucker drag to get that hand off of his neck. Good motion by these two. Awesome sequence. No points yet. End of the first period. Couple goose eggs going into the second.
Yeah, a lot of good movement, a lot of good defense, and there was a lot of offense there too.
Dow High defers the choice to Midland. Midland chooses bottom. There's a mentality you've got to develop as a wrestler, and that is you cannot hold me down. So usually when you're here and the score is tied, you get the option, you choose down, holding on to that mentality, knowing you can get at least 1 point from the position. The Dow High wrestler looking very strong here in the top position. Midland High able to make some space and get to his feet, though. No escape yet. No control has been lost by the Dow High wrestler. Not in this current position anyways. Lorenzo from Midland High working very hard to get his at least 1 point.
Pushing really hard. All he has to do is break one of those arms off of him, and then he would have lost control, and I think it's about to happen.
There it is. Flattens him out to his belly, breaks his grip, and able to get the go behind for 2. First points of the match are awarded to Midland High. Score now reads 2-0.
So now Lorenzo's trying to make some moves. It looks like he's got his arm back behind. He's got the Dow High's arm.
Oh, potentially dangerous, called by the ref. Lorenzo, the Midland High wrestler, had the arm pulled across the back of the Dow High wrestler, but as the Dow High wrestler started to go to his back, that wrist moved up towards the wrestler's shoulder blades, essentially causing a hyperextension that is potentially dangerous. Didn't seem to really please the Midland High crowd when that potentially dangerous was called.
Yeah. I think it's because it happened so quick, they didn't have a chance to finish off that move. Because it was going to be that was one that he was going to get near fall points on for sure. He's working on pulling that arm behind his back again.
Yep. Nice tight waist and chop arm.
5 seconds left in this second period.
All right.
There we go.
So now the score still sits 2-0. Midland High up in this match. This is a good match.
Yeah, a lot of good techniques shown here, a lot of patience, and still a lot of offense.
I like these fake shots from Lorenzo, getting his opponent off balance. Not something that you see too much, and it's really a shame. You know, if I was the Midland High wrestler in this situation and I had to look across the guy built like the Dow High wrestler, I certainly would not be eager to tie up.
Yep.
Lorenzo's doing a good job in attacking a stronger opponent where they're weak, and that's at the wrists. The Dow High wrestler here, minute 15 left in the first period. He's going to have to show some intensity to come back from behind. Again, it only takes one move sequence, but you've got to be able to commit to it. And on a rather timid shot, the Dow High wrestler shot was stuffed. Midland High was able to get around for 2.
Yes, the Dow High wrestler has to show a little heart here and start getting those hands, get that hand control so he can base up and come up and out of there.
Midland High is doing a really good job at keeping his weight over top of his opponent's shoulders while staying balanced back on the hips. He's not giving his opponent much chance to even stand up, let alone breathe. Dow High wrestler hanging onto that leg, hoping to work something from that, maybe make some space.
Got about 15 seconds left in this third period. He's really got to go quick. It's going to be tough for him. He's going to have to be moving.
And that is the end of the match. Midland High comes out on top 4-0. I believe that brings the team scores to 21-3. Midland High still in the lead.
That was a really tough match there. I like the way that one played out.
Coming in for Dow High, we have Colin Deal at the 160-pound weight class. And for Midland High, we have Daniel Revord. Daniel Revord is a senior this year. Some of the activities he enjoys are axe throwing and skeet shooting. Daniel, if you're listening to this, hit me up. That sounds like fun. All right, Colin with Dow High was warned with where he's putting his hands on the face. There's nothing wrong with popping someone on the top of the head, but you have to be very careful not to obstruct breathing and line of sight. Nice 2-point takedown there for Midland High.
Working the arm bar, bringing the... he was going to go for that arm behind the back again, but he's able to fight that off.
I've had the pleasure of working with Colin his very first year in wrestling. I believe it was first year, his freshman year. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know if he was going to stick it out. As the experienced wrestlers know, this is a very demanding sport, and I can say that Colin's definitely shown his worth for the team. He stuck it out, and he's developed into quite a wrestler. He's got his hands full today with Daniel Revord of Midland, but it's definitely been a real pleasure watching Colin come up to the sport.
He's got that cradle locked in. He just can't quite get him over to his back.
Looks like Daniel's going to try and load that inside leg onto Daniel's own hips.
Which
and
did
able
the
to
job.
Turn. Yep, able to get the turn.
He's going to be getting some near fall points, but might not be able to quite get the pin without having that crossface in there. Got 2 near fall points on that.
Score now 4-0, Midland High up in this match. Daniel Revord with Midland High also wants to let you know that there are Shamrock Shakes at McDonald's again. Yes, folks, it is confirmed there are Shamrock Shakes at McDonald's. Midland High's choice, they defer down to Dow High. Dow High chooses bottom. Colin, he has to act fast and get away from Daniel's ride. Daniel is very, very strong on top, as he's proven in the last period. Very good motion up to his feet. Drop your hips. Colin's got to drop his hips, but Daniel was still able to get him down, return to the mat. Good return. Daniel's father is also on the coaching staff, and his father also placed in the States for wrestling back in 1993. Little known fact. Daniel also has a twin sister, which is very interesting. Hopefully it's actually Daniel out on the mat. No, I'm just kidding. That was a really bad joke. Midland High is really big at running that hammerlock start to the sequence where they are really focusing on getting that one arm out from underneath their opponent and onto their back. You'll notice when they do that, they're putting every ounce of weight into that shoulder joint of their opponent, pretty much immobilizing them. There he is. He's able to get that arm out. He's going to try and put it into the small of his back. Colin doing a great job sinking that down into his thigh.
Got his arm back and back to base. Probably will be out of bounds if...
All right, so it looks like Dow High has just gotten a warning for unsportsmanlike or misconduct. I'm not sure exactly what motion caused that warning.
Yeah, he said it happened multiple times, so therefore he called it. Not sure what it was from this angle. I couldn't see either.
Shout out to the ref for keeping it a clean match. Folks tend to forget at home and in the stands that the ref's job is not just a one-sided job. He's got to not only keep the match fair, but he's got to try and keep the match clean and every wrestler safe.
Now he did get that arm pinned back there. He's trying to step over to get some near fall points here. Good movement by Daniel. Now he's going to try to put all that weight on, grab that arm, and try to post it down to the mat.
Looking like a reverse half from this position. He's got all that weight down on Colin with Dow High's chest. Colin fighting for life down there.
Now here comes the reverse. He's going to step around, though.
Hop side to the same position. Short time. 3 near fall awarded for the Midland High wrestler, bringing the score 7-0. Kudos to Colin on that one. That was making it hard to breathe for me.
Gets exciting and we stop talking is because we're into it just as much as they are, I think, sometimes.
Good strong roll through. If there's any jiu-jitsu fans out there, that sequence right there, getting the arm caught between the legs, yeah, shout out to jiu-jitsu on that one. Good movement by Colin. Nice quad pod, trying to stand up. Oh, we went for that American roll, or the Olympian roll, or the Granby roll. It's got a few names out there, so for all those critics out there,
back in my day, it was Granby.
Yep, so...
That was one of my favorite moves from bottom.
Certainly is an all or nothing move. Colin has tried hitting it twice, had some success in the first movement. Worth a shot going back for it again.
Yep. When you're down by 7, you need to do something, and that could be the move that turns it around for you.
Down by 7, halfway through the third period. Now's the time for desperation. No one's gonna look at you negatively if you leave it all on the line and end up getting caught yourself at this point. Unless you're the wrestler's parents. No, just kidding. Again, he's got that arm bar, looking to go ahead and put the weight on that shoulder joint and pull his hand out into the small of his back. Midland High's been very dominant on the top for this whole duel so far.
He's got the double arm bar right now. He's looking like he's trying to turn him over and walk across the head.
One of the most basic moves that you could ever learn in wrestling, probably learn at your first moves, is the double arm bar. Suck it up tight to their chest and run it over their head. Any of the wrestling fans out there, if you watch college, 9 out of 10 moves is a basic move that you learn within your first years of wrestling. Because the basics work. End of the match there, score 7-0, Midland High comes out on top. Good hard fight from Colin with Dow High, but the superior wrestler did come out on top today. Great show from the coach's son. Let's go get a Shamrock Shake.
I would love one right now.
All right, coming out for Dow High, we have Jason, for coming out for Midland High, we have Jason Hopp at the 171-pound weight class.
And that would be a bye, it looks like. So this must be moving on to the... Or we don't have the name. One of the two.
Well, Dow High had 2 wrestlers at 152, so actually we could be looking at Colin right now.
Okay. So it could be, yeah.
I apologize to the folks back at home. Yep, actually, judging by what I can see today, that is Colin out there, Colin Deal for Dow High. I apologize to the last wrestler, who was either Evan Kronowski or Dawson Studebaker.
Yeah. It looks like he's got that arm bar, and he's going to go arm bar half on it, but he's fighting it off pretty well.
Colin Deal just muscling that head down.
One of the things is when you're going up against an inexperienced wrestler, you know, these guys got to start somewhere. We all started off not knowing anything.
Absolutely.
We had rough matches like this one might have been for this young man, but I tell you what, you keep with it, you stay strong, and you'll get better, and you'll move on.
Yeah, Mr. Hopp with Midland High, all he's got to do is just commit to the sport. He's got a great coach there at Midland High, so definitely Definitely, he's got a bright future in the sport so long as he puts his head down and just keeps working hard. Good pin for Colin Deal with Dow High. That brings the score 24-9 total team score with Midland High in the lead.
This is Merrick Hocking coming up from Midland. Yeah.
At 189 pounds here.
Yep. And he should be going up against either Aiden Wardell or Xavier St. John, it looks like.
It's going to be interesting to see who Dow wants to send out here. Merrick is an established wrestler. It looks like they're going to be sending out Xavier.
I've had the pleasure of working with Merrick quite a few, 2 years now, in the Midland Havoc team. Looks like the ref is asking him to take off of his hairnet. Not sure on that one. But, yeah, Merrick's an excellent technical wrestler. He's strong, and he's just a fun guy really just to watch and talk to.
In the youth, he was another wrestler that you could say is professional in his attitude. Whether he's dominant towards somebody or in a tough match, he tends to come walking away with just a good mentality. So Xavier St. John versus Merrick Hocking with Midland High. Xavier, he's been, I believe he's a senior this year. That would make 4 years with Dow High. Definitely has shown a whole lot of improvement and done a whole lot of growing up. He's going to have his hands full with Merrick, who's an absolute beast.
Yes,
as you can see right there with a beautiful counter shot, blast double. Able to elevate his opponent and get him right down. Merrick on top, that's just the one place you don't want him. He is so suffocating on top. Good motion, clear the hips from Dow. Xavier's got to keep that pace the entire match if he expects to come out on top with Merrick or catch him in a hard sequence. Merrick here showing his dominance, showing his strength, taking a guy of equal size and just really having his way with him when he's on top. Xavier's doing an amazing job keeping motion, trying to create that space, but he can't stop or else Merrick gets the opportunity to run his assault, to run his offense. Great motion so far. You can see it on Merrick. He's definitely working to keep Xavier down. Honestly, the deciding factor in this match really is going to be if Xavier can just outwork Merrick, because Merrick is so technically good, but Xavier is 4 years his senior. So through that mental toughness and conditioning is what Xavier's going to have to rely on to win this match.
So now Merrick has the wing and an arm bar. But he did get the wing back, so that's a good thing. Merrick's trying to break him down, keep him down, and go for the arm bar half a few times here. And now St. John is... he did a quick turnaround and faced him. Got up.
Nice hip heist by Xavier. Able to turn and face, get one for an escape. Xavier's got to get out of the muscle with Merrick. I know Xavier's a really strong individual himself, but Merrick kind of brings it to another level. But then again, Chuck, you know Merrick a little bit better than I do, so if I'm saying anything wrong, correct me.
No, absolutely not. He's a strong guy, but he will actually use your skills against you, use your weight against you. He's really good at it. As Merrick throws back his hair and readjusts his headgear.
Hey, Merrick, Troy Palomalu called. He wants that hairdo back, okay?
No, but he's a really good kid. I think St. John is actually giving him a run for his money. He's doing what he can against him. It's good.
Xavier's doing great against a very experienced wrestler. Now, again, Xavier is the senior, so I think he's really showing that mental toughness. But there it is, getting caught against a more experienced wrestler in the end is what's going to be his downfall. Again, Xavier's just got to outwork and rely on mental toughness. Xavier's period to win is going to be the third period. Nice suck back by Merrick. Looks like the score now is 4-1. Some near fall awarded for Merrick on that last sequence.
He's working that arm again like we've seen again and again from the Midland wrestlers. He's actually got the arm behind.
Eric also competes in football and track, and he is a member of the Midland High Band. He intends to attend West Point to become an officer in the U.S. Army.
Great aspirations for a young man.
Used Xavier's sit out, threw in a little loose chicken wing there into a suck back, and now he's into a reverse half and gets the stick. That's one thing about the experienced wrestlers, is that they're just going to put their nose to the grindstone and just keep going move after move after move. There's no dead air with an experienced wrestler. Xavier, 4 years on the mat. He's not inexperienced at all. But Merrick's just wrestling since he could really grow up, since he's, could walk, and just came out on top there. Coming in for Dow High, we have Aiden Wardell. Aiden Wardell's been to the state championship a couple times for Dow High. He actually had an injury, if I remember correctly, it was 2 years ago now. I took him out of the season a little bit early. I apologize to the wrestlers if I'm messing up these details. I believe for Midland High we have John Hine.
Nice mat return.
Strong 2 points for Aiden Wardell with Dow High. Aiden Wardell is such a dominant wrestler. Off the mat, one of the nicest gentlemen you would ever speak to. But once he puts his shoes on that mat, it's like it's a whole different mentality from him. And really, that's what you've got to do. You can be best friends with somebody, but if you're both on the mat at the same time, you got to be able to put all that behind you for the next 6 minutes.
Yep, kind of got to go to war for that little bit of time, but then you can become friends once again right afterwards.
Exactly.
He was working that crossface really hard earlier. Now he's trying to work a arm bar and trying to break him down, going for a little bit of a power half maybe.
Aiden's walking that ankle to the side of his opponent. What that's doing is causing that opponent to a sort of accordion. It's going to cause him to ball up, where Aiden will have some more moves opened up for him. Out of bounds, Dow High still on top. Score of this match still 2-0.
Nice movement by Midland, at least he's still got to keep moving. Oh, but
Aiden Wardell is able to lock up that crossface cradle, that far side cradle. Midland High, belly down, stretch out, and broke the lock. 3 seconds left in the first period. Dow High defers the choice to Midland High.
Looks like Midland has a little bit of a nosebleed he's going to take care of right now.
Looks like we might have blood time here for Midland High. Like watching your favorite high school events on MCTV? Stay tuned this winter for more live games and events on the MCTV network. MCTV volunteers and staff will be televising hockey on February 19th at 7:45 and boys swimming on March 5th at 6 p.m. Girls and boys basketball on March 12th starting at 5:30. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming winter sports and other hyper-local community content on MCTV network.
This is a really exciting thing they got going on here.
What's that?
All of the streaming the services now that COVID's out here. This is really nice to have this out there for people.
Absolutely. Looks like Midland High chose bottom to start the second period. Aiden Wardell, strong return to the mat, able to get that leg Turk in there. He's going to, again, work to bring that ankle up towards his opponent's chest or head. And what that's doing is splitting his hips, essentially getting him turned over to the mat, starting that whole turning over process. Able to break the Turk and get back to complete belly down. Yep, so I'm pretty positive that the gentleman out there from Midland High is Logan Ware. Oh, no, I apologize. Is John Hine, excuse me. Logan Ware will be the next gentleman out on the mat. You'll notice that a lot of Dow High wrestlers really like biting down on that ankle with their ankle. There he goes, elevating it, pulling it up.
I can tell you that it's really nice to see these kids being able to get out here and do their sports again. I know that they've been waiting a long time for this. This is really good.
Safe to say 2020 was hard for pretty much everybody out there. So being able to kind of put that all behind you and just wrestle for 6 minutes, or watch your son or daughter out there and wrestle for 6 minutes, is just a nice break from all the chaos.
Yep.
A little chaos to take some break from the chaos, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Still working on the breakdowns, keeping the movement so there's no stalling. And that's the end of the second period.
All right, Dow High is going to be on bottom starting off the third period. Score is still 2-0. Caution red for where his placement of his hand needs to be on the belly button.
Immediately throws in the leg, but he got a little too high and came over the top, unfortunately.
Yep, Aiden felt that leg coming in and immediately threw his hips up and dropped that head.
He's got 3 points of near fall already counted, and he's going for the pin.
Double grapevine. That is never a fun position to get pinned in. Good stick by Aiden Wardell of Dow High to put on another 6 points for Dow. That's, probably top 3 for me in most uncomfortable pinning combinations.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. It looks like we're going down to the lower weight classes now.
Nope. We've actually,
I'm sorry.
we've got Logan Ware walking out for Midland High to collect 6 points, I believe, on a void.
Yep.
Sure is.
There we go.
Logan, who just walked out for 6 points, also competes in football and track.
Now we have coming out at the 103-pound class for Midland High.
We have Lucas Berg, I believe, will be walking out for Midland High. And then we also have Elliot Kozel with Dow High. If I remember correctly, both of these guys are freshmen, actually, just coming out of their middle school and youth programs, and I believe they've gone back and forth quite a few times.
Yeah, this should be a really interesting match.
Yeah, 2 wrestlers that are familiar with each other. Had the pleasure of working with Elliot in the youth program. He is a very technical wrestler, very hard worker. He's been in the sport quite a while. It's gonna be really interesting watching him coming up these next 4 years. He had an awesome butt drop earlier on another opponent today. That was a really cool finish.
Yeah, it was. I saw that. That was really nice. It'd be good to see him and see how he's progressing. Right now, it seems like he's working. He's being patient. Both of them are being patient, working, looking for that opening.
Yep, absolutely. A lot of tie-ups, a lot of elbows.
I know when I was a younger wrestler, the lighter weight classes would sure move fast. And that's actually changed and kind of evolved over the years. And now it looks like these smaller wrestlers are actually getting the technical skills down, and it's really good to see.
Absolutely. Lucas Berg with Midland High went for a little duck under to a single leg, got his shot stuffed. Elliot Kozel was able to go behind, grab the ankle, break the grip, and get 2, and able to secure a lockup on a cradle. Gonna have to hang on tight here. Getting in bad position, Dow High Wrestlers is. And 2 reversal awarded for Lucas Berg of Midland High. Swimming for the half. Elliot Kozel's got his hand caught up high.
Got it back though, and is now.
Rule number 1 about being on bottom when you're a wrestler, don't reach back for the head.
Get that head back as fast as you can. He was just in a bad position. That did not work out for him.
Absolutely. Score tied up 2-2. These guys were pretty even for a lot of their matches that I was able to witness in the youth, and it looks like we're in for that same exact thing today. End of the first period, 2-2. Green defers, Dow High defers to Midland for the choice, and Midland High chooses neutral.
And I can say for 103-pounders, these guys are tall and skinny.
Yes, they are.
And that's okay. You know, you get some short and stocky guys, but then you get these tall, skinny guys. They have that leverage on each other that they can use. Believe it or not, Coach, at one time, I actually wrestled 103 pounds.
I still am 103 pounds. We had a nice two-point near fall awarded for Dow,
so you got
and a takedown as well. Okay, perfect. So now the score is 6-2 for Elliot Kozel with Dow High.
Now he's got to work on breaking him down so that he can start using some new moves here, where Lucas needs to get that hand control. Elliot's a little high, but nothing to worry about yet.
Elliot's trying to control those wrists and keep that weight over top of Lucas, keeping him down onto his knees. Lucas trying to do a little modified quad pod there. Elliot's just being suffocating on the top.
Oh, he's doing a great job keeping control. He's throwing in both legs now.
Got in at least
got the
one boot.
Now. That'll help him to keep from coming over the top. He is a little high right now without his feet in.
Lucas Bird with Midland High also competes in cross country and track. He claims that he likes cross country the most, and honestly, he's got the build of a cross country runner for sure.
Absolutely.
Second period comes to a close, excuse me. Score is 6-2. Dow High on top.
Looks like Elliot is picking down.
All right. We have yet to see, no, we did see Elliot on bottom, excuse me. Lucas did get a takedown earlier. Quad pod for Elliot. Nice stand up, break the grip, and turn, get one for an escape. Score now 7-2.
Need to see Lucas show a little bit more drive here so that he can come back from this deficit that he has.
Elliot scored his last takedown with a snap down and a go behind, picking the ankle, and it looks like he just did the exact same thing again. Another 2 points for Elliot, coming out on top right now with a score of 9-2. Nice snap back with the arm bar. Looks like a 2-on-1 arm bar, actually.
It's being counted. I did notice on the announcements last week that Elliot went 3-0 in his round robin that he had last week.
Where was that at?
Not sure. I just saw the scores, and I saw him and Jacob Batha went 3-0, so
beautiful.
We may be seeing Jacob Batha coming up here shortly also.
Jacob Batha is going to have his hands full next match. We'll cover that in a second. It looks like after a couple sequences, there we go, another 2 points near fall awarded to Elliot Kozel of Dow High, bringing the score 14-2. For those who don't know, who are listening at home, if you win a match, if you reach a 15-point lead in a wrestling match, you win by a technical decision, technical fall.
He's working that arm bar half, trying to get him, but Lucas puts that foot out there to block that. Now he's going to stand up, but Elliott once again covered him up. That was a great job by both guys. Elliott came out on top this time.
Dow High hasn't been going out throwing any over-the-top fancy moves. Elliott Kozel last year was a type of person that would hit a fancy move from time to time, but Coach Wardell with Dow, he runs very hard, basic moves with slight variations, and that's the kind of coach that he's really always been. It's just nose to the grindstone, run your moves hard, and practice them 1,000 times over. All right, Connor Shelb coming out for Midland High, and it looks like we have Jacob Batha for Dow High. Connor Shelb, his father is also on the coaching staff for Midland High. Very established wrestler within the community. Honestly, just all around technically very good as a wrestler. Now, Jacob Batha, also a very good technical wrestler. He's definitely going to have to work to come out on top in this match.
Jacob has improved quite a bit over the last few years since I've been watching him. This is going to be a tough match for him, though. Looks
like Connor Shelb just hit the same single leg, duck under single leg, for a total of 3 takedowns now. That's points. Connor is a senior, so he's had now up to 4 years in high school wrestling on the big stage, if you will. And Jacob Batha here is a freshman, so I think it's safe to say he's going against one of Midland High's team leaders here.
Absolutely. I think once he gets his experience, he'll be able to, have the same technical ability you're seeing here from Connor.
Absolutely. Connor Shelb was able to go ahead and pull that arm out behind in the small of the back, a theme that we've been seeing with the Midland High wrestlers today.
Yep.
And he's also rocking a nice shiny pair of Nike Freaks for those who like to pay attention to the shoe game in wrestling.
I would not have noticed that. Thanks for pointing it out. Batha tried to throw Connor, but it was blocked, and that unfortunately put him near his back, so now he's going to get some near fall here.
Yeah, if you're going to hit a lat drop against an experienced, strong wrestler like Connor, you're going to have to catch him off balance, or you're going to have to hit it with everything you've got, or both.
Nice bridge from Batha to take him out of bounds.
3 near fall there, bringing the score 13-4. Midland High's Connor Shelb is up in the match.
Only 3 seconds left here in this first period. Looks like we have a little bit of a pause. The ref was going to confer with the scoring table.
3 seconds left in the first period here. Connor Shelb with Midland High. He actually enjoys wrestling, hunting, and fishing. A couple of the classes he likes are welding and law enforcement at Midland High. And the first period comes to a close. Score right now is 13-4, excuse my last. And it looks like Midland High is choosing down. Batha gets a chance to get on top of this senior wrestler here. Nice stand up to a standing switch for Connor Shelb. 2 points there. Hard crossface bundle by Connor Shelb. Very hard. I think having his hands full is an understatement for young Mr. Batha.
But he'll keep his head high. He understands what he's up against, and he'll take this experience and learn from it, I believe.
That's one thing I can say about Batha is he's always taken losses very well. He's always just been able to brush it off and come to practice the next day ready to work.
Always willing to listen to what you have to say, too, when it comes to what you can do to improve yourself on these.
Him and his brother both, who we saw Robert Batha earlier, they just have this really cool and collected mentality out there, whether they're facing adversity or a win.
If Batha will get to his belly here, there'll be 3 near fall, and that will make it 18-4 at this time. So, like Shane was saying earlier, if he scores a couple more points, actually one more point here, that'll be a technical foul.
That would be a technical foul.
And now he has the 3 back points, and he's going for the pin. But even if Batha gets out of this, it would be a technical foul.
Yep. The only difference now is if Connor can secure the pin, it's 16 points as compared to 5 for a technical foul.
6 points or 5.
Yep, exactly. That is the end of the match. 3-point near fall, technical foul victory for Connor Shelb with Midland High. Great showing by the senior. Jacob Bath is going to have to take that one and just learn from it. He went against probably one of the more superior wrestlers in the room today. Not taking away anything from the other guys, but Connor has just really established himself. All right, moving on to the 119-pound weight class. I believe Dow High will be voiding this weight class. And they will be giving this void to Brennan Anderson. Another 6 points for Midland High. Coming out now, 125 pounds. We're going to have Brennan Finney with Dow High.
And
I actually believe this is Alex Noe, the 119-pounder from Midland High. I could be wrong, and I apologize to the wrestlers and to the teams if I'm messing this up, but I actually think this is Alex Noe that's out there.
Probably wanting to get a little bit more time on the mat for these experienced wrestlers.
Well, Alex is a senior, and he's good. He's established himself on the team, and you know, he might actually not only have senior, but he might be a better technical wrestler than the other wrestlers at 125. So,
and I know the coaches probably want to get these seniors out there and get them a little bit more mat time because of everything that's happened within the COVID era.
Absolutely. The season's starting late, probably going to be a short season on top of that. If I was a coach, I would be, as controversial as it can be, I would be playing a little favoritism towards seniors, because the fact is, you know, getting your season taken away from you, or even half of it, is really devastating as a committed athlete. So. Yep,
and every bit of experience you can get before they start going up the tournament road also for state tournament.
Absolutely.
They got to get it in, especially if it's someone that's going to do well.
Double chicken wing stack here for the Midland wrestler, Alex Noe. Getting his near fall here. This is going to bring him to a 5-0 lead as soon as the points are awarded. Points will not be awarded until the sequence is broken. And he's got all that weight on the shoulders. Dow High wrestler hanging on by a thread. Oh, you can see it, the grimace in his face, too. That one does not feel good. He's just pulling those arms.
Brennan Finney is a fighter. I know that. I've watched him wrestle before. He's doing everything he can to keep out of this. But it is just too much to overcome.
Just a tight double chicken wing stack. I can definitely say I love watching these two teams wrestle, because both the coaches understand the technical aspect of the wrestling game as far as the basic moves go. You know, if you can, I guess I'll quote Bruce Lee. He said, "I fear not the man who can throw 1,000 different kicks, but the man who can throw one kick 1,000 different times." And that's just it. So, folks, thanks for joining us tonight. Midland High ended up coming out on top with a score of 53-19. This was MCTV's live broadcast of Midland High versus Dow at HH Dow High. Thanks, folks. Have a wonderful evening.